We're spending money left, right, and center, and
I know, and we have to pay it back.
well, yeah, gotta pay that big time.
Mike, you always do that.
The statistics are that 80% fail within 2 years.
Right now, I don't think there's anything for sale, so...
But we shouldn't let that stop us, because
Okay.
everything is for sale for a price.
A year ago, Jennifer Gittins and Michael Vandenwinkle never thought they'd be looking for another restaurant again.
Mike said, that's it. That's it. I am not working with you anymore. I am fed up of you.
At some point, say, I've had enough, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I just had enough.
These two chefs were so busy fighting at their last restaurant, they didn't have time to get married.
You know the expression when you work with your loved one, you always on them. You throw everything on them, and he did.
I'm just very precise.
He came from the philosophy of throwing a pan. If you have a problem, throw the pan.
Their old restaurant, Stork on the Roof, was an impossible situation. They had a loyal following and always got top-notch reviews. But it was so small, there wasn't room for any help. They were there, together, all the time.
You would sometimes say to me, my life is a 4x2 cell.
They took time off, patched up their differences, and came to a realization.
We're chefs. That's what we do.
They decided to try again.
So let's continue it, but let's do it right this time. Will you let me use your knife?
Yeah, absolutely.
But this time, for the sake of their relationship, it has to be different.
We won't be actually cooking side by side in the kitchen anymore.
It made sense because I was really getting sick of him always yelling at me.
This time, Jennifer will run the front of the house. She'll only be allowed to make desserts when Michael isn't around.
And she will cover at least one day when I'm on my Monday nights when I'm playing my hockey.
I really want Mike to be happy and do what he loves doing.
Smell that. Isn't that great? Are you happy with that? Well, you're never happy, but...
Well, let's see.
My greatest weakness? Anxiety, I think. Yeah, I always self-doubt myself, create a lot of anxiety, and if I wouldn't have that, I probably would be a lot further in life.
I've worked many, many years with this guy, and he's shown me a lot. I was not as good a chef as he is. Still am not.
She's my rock. Without her, I wouldn't even be doing this.
Like most Dutch chefs, Michael's food is heavily influenced by the flavors of Indonesia, formerly a Dutch colony. The sea bass today is stuffed with cumin, star anise, lime leaf, coriander, cinnamon, and lemongrass.
His taste buds, his use of flavor, he's immensely talented.
That's fantastic.
Could have cooked it just a touch more. But...
What I love about him is that he doesn't realize it.
As part of their new deal, the restaurant has to be a lot bigger so they can hire staff.
Most of these places are too small. They're only 900 square feet.
That's right.
We'd be going backwards, we're not going forwards.
A bigger restaurant, a bigger budget. They turned to Jen's parents for a $300,000 loan.
When we both said yes, they were flabbergasted. They said, really? And I said, well, if anything happens to us, that's your inheritance.
Horrible. Yeah, asking my in-laws. Well, I haven't asked my in-laws for that. I let my wife, Jennifer, ask
I
her
did the
parents.
asking.
She was worried what would happen if the restaurant failed and where did that leave us, but we haven't stopped to think about that at all. Everything in life is a chance to some extent, and it was a chance we were prepared to take.
I see it as a loan, and I want to pay it back.
I will pay my parents back. If it kills me, I will pay them back.
To get the money, Jen's parents mortgaged their house. Jen and Michael mortgaged theirs too and got another $200,000.
It's scary. I've never, ever spent that much money in my life.
And finally, last week they found the right spot, or they thought they did anyway. This morning they got the keys to their second chance. And there's a lot of silence again.
Jennifer's greatest anxiety or fear is probably me.
It's not quite the way they remember it when they looked at it last week.
I'm so upset. It's buyer's regret.
Jennifer doesn't dare tell Michael what's on her mind.
Okay, let's continue looking, see what we've got.
Look, the burners, even the pilot lights are just totally blocked up here. It's just a mess. Just disgusting, really.
I'm not getting upset in front of Michael.
This is overwhelming.
It is overwhelming, yeah. So.
But
Because I know he's gonna run away. I'm serious, he's gonna leave.
Mike and Jennifer are planning to open in 6 weeks.
Fantastic, 45 people? Absolutely, I'll take them. Yeah, you know what, that's not a problem at all. Like it or not, we have to be ready.
In Toronto, Jennifer Gittins and Michael Vandenwinkle are worried that the spot they chose for their restaurant is an ugly mistake.
Just a mess. Just disgusting, really.
I'm serious, he's gonna leave.
Today, they've asked Franco Prevedello, the man behind these highly successful restaurants, for some advice.
he knows what he's talking about.
Franco thinks Michael and Jennifer's biggest problem is the layout. The bar in the center of the space slices the restaurant in two, and he wants it moved out of the way.
My suggestion would be to just get rid of that bar.
We kind of knew in the pit of our stomach that it was wrong.
I would take the bar from here and move it back here somewhere.
I see this as at least a week's delay.
A week more, a week less. It's not going to make the difference. Do it right when you do it the first time.
My concern is the money.
To me, if it was my restaurant, I think it would be a must.
But Jen and Michael need some more time to obsess about it. They're still obsessing on what to call the place.
You know when everyone says you'll just be driving down the road and all of a sudden the name will just pop into your head? It doesn't happen. That's a lie. It does not happen.
Meanwhile, the word's getting out that they're going to be in business again, and their old clients are shivering with anticipation.
I'm happy they're opening. There are too many things in life that fade away that are good.
Phone rings. Somebody wants to make a reservation.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lower area for private dining for 40 or 50 people.
I have absolutely nothing. I'm not a restaurant.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a Friday night.
Fantastic. 45 people? Absolutely. I'll take them. Yeah, you know what? That's not a problem at all. Like it or not, we have to be ready.
It's 3 weeks to opening. They have no kitchen, they have no staff, they need furniture, and they need a name.
I am worried that I bit off more than I can chew.
The name won't cost them anything, so they make a decision. They're calling it Quince because...
It's a cue. I like it. Really, honestly, it's such a boring story. There isn't one. I'm gonna have to come up with something. I really like this one, but I can't the fabric.
The fabric
We have to
is...
have leather.
As for the furniture, it's a
white,
bit
right?
more complicated. They've decided to move the bar, which blew their budget for chairs.
We are $50,000 over budget.
So before I get into all the different pieces that we have available here, it'll help me to know what kind of budget you have available for the 3 areas.
Fair enough. $2,000 to $3,000
Per area?
No, total.
Okay.
There's no more branches on the money tree to cut off.
And there are no chairs to be found within their budget. This one's too short.
They look like they've been shrubbed. They've gone through the dryer.
This one's too tall.
Well, I don't know if it fits with the height.
And this one, which is perfect, is too expensive.
Yeah? We have a problem, Jen. We're spending money left, right, and center, and...
I know, and we have to pay it back.
We have to, well, yeah, got to pay it back big time, and, you know, interest rates are only going up at the moment, and you're just saying, it will be fine, it will be fine. And we'll have to knock on your parents' door, sweetheart, because, you know, we're here and we're spending money we don't have.
Yeah, I know.
In this case, there's only one non-stop route to the wallet.
What's the dressing, Michael?
A roast chicken dinner.
All restaurants, I read, the statistics are that 80% fail within 2 years. Thanks.
There's a reason why we invited you over for dinner. There was a reason why we invited you over for dinner tonight. I'm wondering if we can borrow another $4,000.
That's chocolate.
He can say one word and I know what direction he's going in.
It's very particular.
He'd already made up his mind.
Not enough salt. Not enough salt.
Not enough salt? No, I think it's good.
I suffer from tit for tat.
In Toronto, Jennifer Gittins and Michael Vanden Winkle are down to their last cent.
There's no more branches on the money tree.
They don't even have enough money to buy chairs for the restaurant.
We have a problem, Jen.
So they've gone on bended knee to Jennifer's parents for another loan.
I'm wondering if we can borrow another $4,000.
What do you think, John?
I'm sure we could manage 4.
I don't think they understand fully what it means to us.
I've got it in my bank account.
We dined in paradise for 10 years at the Stork, and I'm very confident that we'll continue to do so at Quince.
Thank you.
Let's toast the Quince.
The Quince.
To the future of Quince.
But Jennifer and Michael aren't out of the woods yet. They're working on the menu for Quince, and the ride is getting bumpy. Again. Jennifer needs Michael's approval for the dessert she's planning for the restaurant.
So we've got a chocolate tart.
Okay.
With malted ice cream and a chocolate malt milkshake.
That's chocolate.
He can say one word and I know what direction he's going in.
Yeah, it's very particular.
He'd already made up his mind that he wasn't going to like it.
It's very heavy. I can't imagine people eating that after a meal. It's just gonna sit there.
Later, at his new kitchen, Michael wants Jennifer to applaud his wood oven roasted quail wrapped in bacon with watercress.
I think at the oven just at the right temperature there.
Not enough salt. Not enough salt.
Not enough salt? No, I think it's good.
It needs punch. It needs cumin. A touch of cumin.
It's good bacon. You don't think it's enough salt?
Well, that's it. I'm tasting bacon.
I suffer from tit for tat, for sure.
That's the friction between her and me.
That's a big negative on my part.
The thing is, they're not much easier on other people either. This man is trying out to be the sous chef today. They need to hire someone so Michael isn't chained to the stove this time. Not so easy.
The applicant pool is tiny, really tiny. I'm getting the dregs.
He's attempting a grilled pork chop seasoned with roasted fennel, roasted peppers, and peach salsa. Sounds pretty good. But for Jen, he's already got 2 strikes against him.
He walked in and he didn't have a chef's jacket. And he smoked.
But it's cardinal sin.
I want to see where you are flavoring, and that's where your palates are.
It's probably my nice skills.
Every time I try to talk to him, he starts interrupting me. I give you some stuff.
Yeah, just see what our cooking ethos is.
And you know what? Let me finish, and then
well,
we just.
You don't need to confuse fresh product with.
Strike 3, and he's out. And for now, there's nobody else waiting in the dugout.
Now it's looking like I'm in the kitchen. I will have to be pulled back into the kitchen because we don't have the staff for it.
So, a heck of a lot further in debt, they are back where they started, in the kitchen together. And 2 days before opening, they're in each other's faces again.
Got to figure out the portion size, okay? You always fill them up to the max.
Mike, you always do that.
Well, but you always go overboard, Jen.
This is my dessert, okay? Butt out, do your own thing, I'll do my thing. I'm the desserts, you're not. So if I just do this, then we understand each other.
If you up, I'm still going to say something about it.
Butt out of my desserts.
Yes, ma'am.
We're not ready to open.
What?
We're not going to open.
Let's think this through.
What are they going to think of us?
I am calling with incredibly bad news.
In Toronto, Jennifer Gittins and Michael Vanden Winkle are in each other's faces again.
Butt out of my desserts.
It is 6 hours until Quince is supposed to be opening. In the kitchen, Michael is short on help, but thinks he can scrape through the night.
I'm a little squeamish at the moment.
But in the front, there's still piles of work to be done, and most of the crew is nowhere to be found.
I don't understand where everybody is. My wine cabinets were supposed to be in yesterday, they're not. I have boxes everywhere. I can't set my tables up, I can't do my table arrangements. I still don't have a credit card machine. I can't accept credit cards because I don't have internet. Jack, in all honesty, how long do you think it's gonna take? Where do you think you're at?
About 5 hours.
5 hours?
3 hours before they're supposed to open, Jennifer hits the wall.
We're not ready to open.
What?
We're not gonna open. Let's think this through.
I'm almost ready here, and with the kitchen and...
Room is not set up.
Yeah.
The wine cabinet's going, the baseboards aren't in, the painting isn't finished.
What are our guests? We got all the family, all old customers that come in. What are they gonna think of us?
Even more important, how can customers come? They can't come.
Well, you better start calling.
I know, I know.
This reflects really bad on us, all right? I need a stiff drink.
I am calling with incredibly bad news. We will not be opening tonight.
Campari?
I just can't open. I'm so sorry, but the restaurant is just not ready.
We're opening up tomorrow, so might as well have another drink.
I've got workmen all around the place. We are so close, but we just need 24 more hours.
The next day, it's still down to the wire.
Look at me, I look like shit.
But Jennifer thinks the glass is half full.
It's the first night of my future.
And Michael thinks it's half empty.
I'm flipping inside.
It's really what we want deep down inside.
I might just burst out in tears.
It will bring us happiness and some peace.
Right now, there's no peace, to be honest with you.
6 weeks ago, Jennifer and Michael gambled that this dated and confused-looking pizzeria could be their second chance. Tonight, this is Quince. Modern, warm, and inviting. A year after they called it quits, they are back where they belong.
People are still expecting Mike and I here, which is why it's extremely important for you to understand that you represent Mike and I on the floor.
We've got a lot on the line. It's our next move in our life.
Thank you all very much, and let's have a wonderful evening, okay? Thanks.
Thank you.
Everyone has been waiting.
We've been with Michael and Jennifer from Stork from the very beginning. We've just been groupies.
And it's like coming back home.
Michael's brought back some favorites from the Stork. A salad of arugula, fresh figs, and Parmesan with pomegranate glaze. Shrimp dumplings with a coriander pesto.
The coriander pesto and the shrimp dumplings, outstanding.
His lamb shank is simmered with star anise, cumin, and sweet soy with a chickpea puree and braised fennel.
Marvelous.
He's doing monkfish with red pepper and watercress over French lentils.
Michael always does the best seafood. He never overcooks the seafood. It's always perfect.
To follow, there's a medley of fresh sorbets and chocolate toffee bread pudding in creme anglaise. Jennifer and Michael were supposed to get married before they opened Stork. They might finally have time to do it.
I would just like to say thank you very much to everybody for coming. Michael and I could not have done this without the support of our family and all our friends, and I can't even begin to tell you how much this means to us. Do you want to go work for someone else, or you're okay working for yourself?
No, I'm very happy right now. I don't want to work for anybody else but you and me, babe.
To Quince!
And it was certainly worth investing in.
Well, thanks, guy. Well, without you, it would not. Without you two, it would not have been possible.
That's
this
true.
whole
Don't
project.
cry.
Yeah.
You can eat for free.
Find more at fineliving.com. Real information for real people.